Wise, Svitolina continues her quest for #1 in the WTA rankings.
Well, Garcia demonstrating pretty much, I think, what we're going to see a lot of in this match. Looking to get the first strike on the front foot as best as possible. She'll want to take control out here and start pushing Svitolina around.
Some quality off the ground for Garcia, striking, as Naomi was alluding to. Quick strike tennis gets her the early break point.
Yeah, for Svitolina, it's really key that she hangs in these rallies, tries to drag them out as long as possible, but she doesn't just sit back and put the ball in like that previous one, getting the depth. She's able to maneuver players around the court, even if she doesn't quite overwhelm them with pace.
Wow. That's some precision, as she's shown from both sides now. Already a trio of winners. 2 quality backhands, and now our first from the forehand side, a second break point. Make it a third backhand winner, secures the opening game. An overwhelming record on the year when reaching this stage at events for Elina Svitolina. Meanwhile, Caroline Garcia herself has produced fine results. There's absolutely there's a case to be made that Garcia is playing some of the best tennis of her career. She's a force here, and she's in the hunt for the final spot in Singapore. Here's a good example of what Svitolina is capable of if she has the time. Her first winner of the match.
Well, not only does Garcia have a good amount of power, I mentioned that athletic movement. I mean, she's got quite an all-court game. She has lots of options, really. She can employ all different sorts of tactics. Sometimes doesn't choose to, likes to just stay aggressive.
Yeah. Well, we did see some of that in Wuhan last week in that successful run to the title there, and the one-way traffic in just one style. She's actually been able to bring a little nuance to her game and change it up when necessary. But so far she hasn't had to. I mean, the backhand is dialed in. She has as many backhand winners as Svitolina has points in this opening 6 minutes. But in talking about the results she's posted this year with 9 quarterfinals or better appearances, she's in the midst of the longest winning streak at the tour level of her career, going back to do one better than the previous best of 7 in 2014, between a title run in Bogota and a late result in Madrid. And the first ace for Garcia. She takes 9 of the first 14 points. Not overwhelming, but she's picking the right times to strike. And boy, has she struck a chord early. 2-love.
Well, you can see the confidence in Garcia. Why shouldn't she be confident?
Yeah.
She has dramatically surpassed her expectations in the past 10 days or so, and has done it really in style, beaten some quality players. That's the sort of thing that really has got so many people excited about Garcia over the past couple of years, showing off some fabulous defense off the back of some brilliant winners we've seen early on. Really, when we say she can do it all, she could adopt any game style really that she wanted to. And Svitolina, although she's low on matches because she took that break after the US Open, her first 2 opening rounds, not the easiest of draws, getting Ashley Barty early on, and then Vesnina in the 3rd round.
Yeah, ending Vesnina's chances for an appearance in Singapore. Outside they were, comparatively to Garcia and to Konta, currently in the 8th spot. And Barty coming fresh off the heels of her runner-up position in Wuhan, losing to Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah, so as much as Svitolina may not have a lot of matches in the past couple of weeks, she's had a couple of tough ones to get her ready here.
1 point from putting herself on the board. Yeah, she's in the midst of a pretty good run, though, too. While Garcia enjoys the win streak, 8 in a row, Svitolina, since the start of Wimbledon, has won 15 of her last 18. The ground today, but Svitolina has her hold and now starting to get a feel for the match, their second ever meeting. Paul Garcia, Caroline's father, seemed a bit vexed. Celebrated his birthday last week and got the belated birthday present of the Wuhan trophy, as his daughter was able to triumph there.
She'd done so well there, Svitolina, and actually had an opportunity if she'd just got up the court a little bit quicker. In the end, she just hung back, gave Garcia a little more time to recover, and then was trying to get the winner anyway.
That seemed to be thrown off just a bit as Garcia threw a little more spin in there, changed the pace. Tennis equivalent of a change-up pitch, and 15-all. Her second ace at 183 kilometers per hour. 113 on the MPH if you're interested. Some are.
Svitolina already showing signs of frustration, and I think ordinarily over the past couple of years, if this was the situation with Garcia, Svitolina wouldn't have too much reason to panic because she's very prone to flashy tennis and can go off with the concentration, but not of late. That's something that has improved dramatically. So Svitolina can't wait for Garcia to fall away. Well, if she can't overwhelm you with power on a consistent basis, boy, can she cover the court. And this is a pretty decent little stab to drop shot, Svitolina, but she covered so much ground and so quickly. Yeah, she did not want to let this one drop, did she? Wanted to take it as high as possible so she could just swat it away.
Whoa. One more dart thrown, and it's a big one. And as Garcia continues to employ very specific shot making off the forehand side, doing very well in an even attack. And started to produce from the backhand side early, but she's matched it now. 4 winners apiece amongst the 10 she's hit today. Garcia has her hold. Papa's proud, and Caroline should be herself. 3-1 at the start of this quarterfinal.
again, within that game, just so much on offer there from Garcia. Some great defensive work, turning it around. But then as soon as the opportunity presents itself, she's on it without a moment's hesitation, going right at Svitolina. You can see that last one really pushed her back on the diagonal. It was a tricky one for Garcia because it was very central. You can see it's low as well. There was no angle to play with. And going up the middle of the court, not a bad idea, just needs to get a little deeper.
Nifty. That's good. Garcia serving well to this point, hasn't faced a break point.
Svitolina doing a great job of just absorbing those blows from Garcia really well. You can see the physicality that both players are bringing to this match.
See if the conversation with Andrew Bettles, her coach, just prior to the medical timeout, if they stick and hold true. So far, so good. Love 30. Oh, going for broke. That's some big hitting from Svitolina.
Garcia just coming off the ball ever so slightly, and when Svitolina has time to get on that front foot, she can deliver as well as just absorb.
Wow, right through the court and a break. So it was Caroline Garcia as Bettles looks on. He'll be pleased that his pep talk seemed to work perfectly. Svitolina takes all 4 points in Garcia's third service game. Yeah, Garcia started off hot, striking the ball so well. It'll be interesting to see if the taping on the upper right thigh also has any impact on her movement, because she was moving what appeared to be very well, but obviously in some sort of discomfort. As Svitolina makes it 3-all.
Svitolina really has implemented exactly what Andrew Bettles was asking her to do, getting much more depth. You can see the effect it's having on Garcia. She started to go for a little bit too much, getting frustrated she couldn't get that short ball. First couple of points of the last game. And then that means the error comes. Just super work from Garcia, showing off from all areas of the court. Really kept her cool, didn't go for too much. Again, just such a great balance.
Just a little late on the timing, as Garcia is starting to see that Svitolina has certainly made the quality adjustment she needed to. And Caroline's not just going to be able to hit through the court. Yeah, the ease.
Well, it's been really interesting this set, how the momentum has changed. Really, Garcia came out and presented quite a challenge to Svitolina, really stamped her authority on the match, but had Svitolina panicked a little bit, but after a chat with her coach, seems a lot more settled and just has responded. Has upped her game, is playing much better now.
Yeah, Bettles did seem to settle her somewhat. Remember, she had held, basically won 4 points in a row to get to 3-2, but called him out and said, I'm not sure about these short balls. I'm having some difficulty. And he said, look, you know, there's a lot of bluster here. This is built on a house of cards. Caroline's not going to be able to maintain this level. And he's looking pretty prophetic because early on, Garcia was on a tear. She hit 9 winners to 4 unforced errors. Since that point, when she was +5 in the differential, she's hit 2 winners and 9 unforced errors.
Yeah, and so much of that really is credit to Svitolina because she has put a lot more on her shots. They're deeper, they're heavier. She's understood that she really needed to just up her quality of ball. Just getting it in was just not going to cut it. The moment it dropped ever so slightly short, Garcia had all the time in the world. just means that Garcia's just got to slightly readdress the balance. She's just been trying to continue rushing Svitolina on the forehand, which she was doing really successfully. But now that she's being pushed a step further back to do that from, that gives Svitolina 2 steps more time. So it's just not quite going to happen as easily for her. Maybe needs to work 1 or 2 more shots in the rally before being able to take that time away.
Oh, the anticipation was there. She stayed at home, but couldn't get the backhand to clear the net, and Garcia has made it 4-all. So the conversation between father and daughter merits a quality result. Stops the 3-game slide for Caroline. 37-minute mark. They start even terms, 4-all.
Wow, it's clean, isn't it? It's big, it's powerful, it's explosive, there's really compact technique as well. You can't really see how that backhand with that much time on the front foot is going to break down. She might miss some, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to leave her anytime soon. Svitolina's got to get more on it if she can. It's tough, this second serve is getting stepped on. That was an interesting choice to come in off this one, Garcia. She was pretty far back. You see her back foot was still on the baseline actually when she hit that, and she kind of just coasted in. She didn't make a sprint.
She was looking to surprise. Elina, it didn't work. Picked a perfect target and was able to get the pass. And Svitolina still seems, the body language seems a bit negative and still quite frustrated. Remarkable effort as Svitolina once again stayed at home. Garcia had a lot of court to work with, but went right back to Elina and kept her in the point.
He had such great movement on display as well. It was great anticipation and pickup. Garcia surprisingly not closing the net down. Svitolina is going to make this as tough as she possibly can for Garcia.
Well, she knows there's hard yards before her, but now she's starting to get that feeling once again. This hasn't been on her terms to this point. Garcia set the tone early, but now Svitolina back to the lead. Difficult task as she hasn't been able to hold off the charging Svitolina. Serving 4-5. Andrew Bettles came to the court at the request of Svitolina once more. Second time in the set. It was a funny exchange of sorts, you know. Obviously, Bettles once again trying to shore up Svitolina's confidence, and there were a couple tactical things they discussed. But the one cute moment, if you weren't with us, was when Bettles said, "Well, you know, she's having some difficulty with the leg." That strapping you see up high on the right leg, and she said, "Well, she's running everywhere. She's getting to all my balls." And he says, "Well, not between points." And she laughed and said, "What's she supposed to do? Win sprints between?" It was a nice lighthearted moment to take some of the pressure off, though I'm not sure Bettles intended it to be that way. But it was certainly a nod that Elina recognizes that Garcia's in this fight, strapping on the leg or not, that she's really putting forth a tremendous effort early.
Svitolina getting away with that one. Thought Garcia would have that point under control after this very tricky pickup from Svitolina, because she's not known for her volley skills. Svitolina, you'd have to give the award for volleys to Garcia. She's such an accomplished doubles player, but she just couldn't find the space. Get it straight back to Svitolina.
Svitolina's battle back in this opening set could leave Garcia wanting. It was a 3-1 lead for the French Garcia, but now she's just struggling to hang on. It's been a mad dash of late. At the 46-minute mark, set point for the world number 3. What a response from Garcia. 2 big serves setting up the point. And when she does that up the court, this is exactly what she was looking for after this serve. But just too good for Svitolina. Just couldn't get any more on that. Excellent serving from Garcia. When she's faced adversity over this 8-match win streak, we know that she's been able to find the answer more often than not. That was a stern test early to try to stay in the set. And she answers with an ace and a quality point for deuce. Certainly work's left to be done.
Garcia getting to the net yet again. She's really trying to keep these points as short as possible. Svitolina just couldn't find the pass there.
once again, that downhill speed, that first step, so quick, and the way she is able to close out. Svitolina on her horse and does a terrific job, and wisely going right at the body of Garcia. More anatomically specific at the feet. A return to deuce.
Such a deep second serve there, really jamming up Svitolina. And then just a nice skip through that first strike.
And Svitolina long. Yeah, I think Garcia might have a point here. We'll see. There is a reason that the challenge system is in play. I believe Garcia feels it was long, and her challenge, no, right on there. Well, you saw it. You saw it better. You said, what are you talking about? That was a spot on the line. Flush. That's the risk in stopping midpoint and back to deuce.
Really good from Garcia there. She's got to keep going at Svitolina. She's really got to try and take the time away, take the game to her, and Svitolina needs to find a way to stop that from happening. The depth that her coach Andrew Bettles was talking about is so key, but when you're under so much pressure, when you have to be outstretched on the return and then you're under all this time pressure, balls coming at you, it's incredibly difficult.
Wants the same ball back, and why not? Worked well. Keep it flat and slide her out wide. Hoping to finally wrap up what is the longest game of this opening set and get to 5-all. And finally does. Saves a couple set points en route to splitting the opening 10 games.
That's a really strong hold from Garcia. She definitely has a little bit of discomfort in that leg, but actually she's not out there really looking to last long in these rallies and run around. She wants the rallies to be short anyway, because that's her game style. That's the tactic against someone like a Svitolina. And actually maybe a little discomfort in the leg just gives her an extra push in that direction, just to make sure she does get those serves firing. Svitolina could see Garcia setting up for that one. She really went across herself. It would have been tough to get it really cross court. She tried to step on that and finish that point down the line.
Yeah, certainly there was almost telegraphed her intent, but unable to clear the high part of the net. Svitolina able to get to 30-15 as she tries to inch closer to a third try to wrap this set, or take the lead in this set. Remember, 3-1 down early. Garcia came out with a big game early and very efficient and effective. Seemed as if it was going to be quick, but it's turned into a much more arduous task for both. There's some of the skill that Garcia is able to turn quickly. She had it sit on a tee for her, didn't she?
Yeah, well, that's just got dismissed. And a couple of the shorter second serves from Svitolina. That's exactly what's happened to them throughout this set already. Garcia sending a strong message to Svitolina that that is not good enough.
Garcia's initial break coming back in the 6th game. Oh, that's a big forehand. Point's been on her racket. She's looking to seal the deal. Oh, we've had such clean striking from the racket of Garcia. I think she's allowed one, but not the ideal time. She's really looking to get on top of these rallies as best she can. It's really, as you say, all been on her racket. Svitolina has done a good job of hanging in. Yeah, as we'd be expecting from Svitolina, so consistent. She likes to keep her base level pretty even throughout. No peaks and valleys for her game, but Garcia, yeah, she's had an ebb and flow tonight. So productive early, so many winners, and the differential so positive early, but really things have slipped. Now her 22nd unforced error and threatened to be broken at love for the 2nd time today by Svitolina and produce a tiebreak.
Whoa.
And without a point on serve while trying to conclude the set, Svitolina with her 2nd break means the 13th game will decide who drops their 1st set of the tournament.
Well, this will be interesting indeed. I think it would be very surprising if Svitolina plays a poor tiebreak filled with errors. She's been pretty tidy on the numbers so far, and as you say, very steady. Let's see what Garcia is going to bring here.
Disgust from Svitolina and the miss hit off the frame, and can't believe that that is the first step of this tiebreak. A misstep at that.
Svitolina did such a good job there, soaking up a couple of big balls that were very deep. And it just meant that Garcia went for a little bit too much. She was desperately trying to get the short ball. Svitolina hanging in once again.
That's some marvelous defense, but not enough to keep up with the backhand of Garcia. Svitolina trying to hang in.
Oh, that's just superb hitting. It's relentless from Garcia. She got depth, she got width, as well as a big, powerful strike. And got 4 or 5 of those strikes in a row. Svitolina just can't keep up with that. I don't think many people can.
No. That'll ease some of the pressure. Just sort of a release valve of sorts for Garcia to be able to produce a 2-1 start and be hitting so cleanly after surrendering the early lead. Neither has been overwhelming in tiebreaks this season, though they are in the positive. Svitolina with a 5-6 record in 2017. Garcia just a touch better at 9-7, including 1 tiebreak here. She needed, and in her opening match against Elise Mertens, won 7-4 in the tiebreak for producing the straight sets win. Just getting away as Svitolina. Quality offering as she produces unreturnable serve, just getting off the outside of Svitolina's racket. They're putting it down as an ace, and why not? You can't put that ball back in play. Go ahead. 4-3.
She went for the punch volley, Svitolina, coming to the net. Again, I mean, she's not the most comfortable at the net. She does finish sometimes there, but just took a big swing at this one.
Perhaps a nod towards Carolina's movement today and how she has been able to really cover a lot of ground. And she said as much when she talked to Andrew Bettles during one of their conferences. And she's getting everything. I got to do a little more. Wow, she did everything right but that execution, but that'll make her feel just a bit better. Or will it? Garcia challenges the second ace. To no avail. That's not going to do it.
Well, Svitolina does enjoy a target. I think the plan for Garcia was to pull this one right out into the corner, potentially get a floatier shot from Svitolina, but just couldn't get around the outside, so it was right back down the middle, and Svitolina counter-punching it through it.
Yeah, very central, and that's right in the wheelhouse. Svitolina. Any break returned. Yeah, Garcia's approaches today have been a bit suspect. Well, you go back to the point prior and everything was working just right. She took the lesson learned and spread it out wide.
Yeah, this exactly was the plan on the previous point. She got exactly what she wanted. Just rushed that drop volley, that drive volley. I think it was dropping quicker than she expected.
21 minutes after she held her first set point. She just may get there, Elina Svitolina. And it's called long. Challenge from Garcia, as expected. And the conclusion on pause for the official review. Svitolina was convinced, and she is correct. Garcia. Yeah, these are the moments, aren't they, as an athlete and certainly as a tennis player, Naomi, you can appreciate this, the fact that she put in so much effort in that opening set. A 3-1 start, had a chance to serve it out as well. Caroline Garcia. Those moments when you start to question a couple of things, your game, you said that what could have been, and any pre-existing or current injuries that are lingering start to hurt just a little bit more.
Yeah, it just came down to a couple of things, didn't it, really? And one of them, as just demonstrated in that last point, was the a few times deciding to approach the net, maybe not off the right shot. And when you think Svitolina's out of position, she's actually not, because she's just that good at recovering. And there were just a couple of times she got caught out on that. But other than that, really, I mean, it was a good set all round for Garcia. She needs to be the more aggressive player. That was exactly as we expected. Really taking it to Svitolina, but Svitolina just getting more and more solid.
Yeah, this is a quality response. Just in case, if there was an emotional letdown and a bit of a hangover effect for Garcia, it would certainly be somewhat understandable. But remember, she's in the midst of an 8-match win streak. You know, that winning sense we said was contagious. And in 2 of those 8 matches, she did have to come back from a set down to produce the victory. Both of them in Wuhan. In her first match against Kerber.
Aggressive, just a couple too many unforced errors. It was so close to being perfect for her. And actually, you could say it was perfect because she was only 2 points away from taking the set anyway. So it's not really like the stats would have affected that much.
Perhaps other statistics of note for Elina Svitolina on the year. She has been terrific as a front runner, posting a 42-3 record when holding the opening set, including her last 14. And of those 14 in a row that she has won the first set and gone on to victory, only twice has she been extended to a third set. So certainly a position that she enjoys and has shown to be an overwhelming advantage of late. Set away from her 52nd win in 2017. That would move her ahead of Karolina Pliskova The match win total for the year is amongst the leaders and just trailing Caroline Wozniacki for the #1 spot. Garcia with half chance here at love 30.
Oh, what a blistering return from Garcia. Just read that. Svitolina just wasn't able to get it to swing away from Garcia. She did go for that wide one. But just right in the slot, really, for her.
And a break to love. 8 straight points for Garcia to begin. After she dropped the opening point on her serve, she's run off those 8 in a row, matching her win streak, and that's a good feeling. As she tries to rebound from a set down, starts at 2 love.
Oh, we were talking at the end of the first set about potential letdown after a tight set, especially when you think you've played well, you've been so close. It's not uncommon to have a bit of an adrenaline dump after off the back of that. You have to reset, start again, but she's just gone straight into this. Just seems like she's really taken the positives from that set, and the fact is that she was 2 points away. So is there really any need to change anything drastic? Just maybe tidy up in a couple of areas, make life a little easier for yourself. But on the whole, Svitolina played a good set, so did Garcia.
I wonder, though, if the ability to produce these results that she has of late, and remember now, this is her 3rd consecutive quarterfinal on the Asian swing and her 4th last 8 appearance in her last 6 events. You know, there's a mindset you start to get into when you start winning where if you're having a downward trend, everything seems to plague you. Everything circles negatively in your mindset. You start winning, you find ways to produce victories even when you're not playing your best. It's easier to distance yourself from disappointment. We talked about winning being contagious, and yeah, she's caught the fever of late.
Yeah, absolutely. It just becomes a habit. You just know what to do. You don't have to think about the fact, okay, right, this is a big point, so what's my plan? You just know. You go straight into executing your basics and your favorite plays on those big points. At times, playing against Svitolina, you've got to think, how do you get it past her? The movement, I mean, Garcia had set up a brilliant point here, really pulling Svitolina out wide and kept that slice nice and low. And really, there were a couple of inches down the line for Svitolina to hit. It wasn't a huge target, but she found it.
Well, Svitolina called it out, but more importantly, the line judge called it out. And Caroline says, I'm not sure I believe you. No offense, but I'm going to challenge, and wisely did so. There wasn't a lot of room for margin, but just enough to find the outside of the line. First serve facing break point.
It was a fabulous body serve. Svitolina really wanted to take it early. Just got jammed up as it just curled into her.
Wise choice to go heavy up the tee. Not her fastest serve of the match, but pretty close, and it gets the necessary result. Well done by Svitolina to muscle. That ball was coming into her carriage. To get it back and playing, Garcia just muffs her attempt and facing break point once again.
Just moves through that forehand so effortlessly. Yes, it's a short ball, but really judging her distances perfectly. Little skip through. Really driving that right hip through as well to generate as much pace. She needs to make sure this point finishes with Svitolina's movement.
Without question. We've already seen from both a couple of gimmies that should have been just routine that haven't always gone their way. So she does well to make the adjustments on the fly. Her 13th winner. Well done by Svitolina. Again, another example of maybe lesson learned. Had a sitter floating back earlier in the opening set that she missed, but emerges unscathed. But that time she didn't take any chances. Quick work to get to the middle of the court. 7 of 9 at the net today as she tries for her third break. And Garcia gave Svitolina just a couple too many semifinalists last year, her best previous result, and trying to match that in 2017. Ran up against eventual champion Agnieszka Radwanska in the semis and was dismissed 7-6, 6-3 a year ago. Needing those points to keep herself in the hunt as she and Halep threaten Garbiñe Muguruza in the top spot in the women's rankings. Really quite a lot at stake in this match, not just the victory itself to move through in a Final Four berth for Garcia to keep her hopes alive to qualify for Singapore, chasing Johanna Konta. Naomi, English eyes will be paying close attention to what transpires here in the next couple of days if Garcia is able to produce a victory.
Yeah, I think mathematically it is a big ask for Garcia. No one was expecting her to win in Wuhan at the beginning of the tournament, but producing a fabulous performance, picking up plenty of points, and then suddenly, yes, slight concern for Johanna Konta's position at number 8. But Svitolina will be thinking, hang on a minute, I've won loads of titles this year and I wasn't in Wuhan, so that's why she won it.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
I represent a significant hurdle for the sprinter Garcia, whose 2-love lead for the set about to evaporate. 5 titles on the season. Remarkable stuff from Svitolina as she looks to finish the year with a flourish. And has herself a second game. So 2-all. Yeah, Kanto will be casting an eye from wherever she's currently located, knowing that Garcia is giving chase, and she's hoping, she's pulling for the world number 3 currently. No, not entered in the tournament next week is the British number 1, but certainly would have her eyes on Moscow if need be. As we're less than 20 days until the Tour Championships in Singapore.
One thing that Garcia did really well in the opening stages was to take the ball down the line. She had a little bit more time than she's getting from Svitolina now. Well, absolutely, that made it a little bit easier, but she really was going down.
Some ferocious ball striking as Svitolina tries to get the upper hand. Garcia trying to give as good as she gets, but ultimately breaking down in the long exchange.
I just can't get Svitolina off balance. I mean, those were beautiful strikes. Garcia dominating from the middle of the court, corner to corner. And there you can see how strong Svitolina is, moving through the ball at pace as well. Keeps getting a clean hit, sprinting back the recovery.
Massive. That's a big offering to try to put away some frustration. Save break point as well. And that calamitous forehand. Game point. Boy, that would have stuck. Remember, we're talking about Caroline Garcia having been a point away from a 3-love start to this set. Now she's just trying to hang on to reclaim the lead. Not surrender it.
So surprising how Garcia has struggled up at the net today.
Yeah, it really has, but I mean, you're scratching your head thinking, how has she not been able to finish not only off this game with those 2 brutal points, but just in general, her prowess up front usually is pretty strong. Facing her 8th break point in this set. Just too many opportunities, and after to switch the momentum. Naomi Cavadet, parlez-vous français?
Not well enough.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but he was very passionate, as always, with what he was saying to Caroline.
Tough position to put you in, but hypothetically, your thoughts. Let's say you were coaching Caroline right now and she called you down. What would you employ as either a strategy or mindset?
Well, I think just a reminder that she really is, I wouldn't say fully in control of this. Svitolina is putting up a awfully good fight. Been very tough.
That's a quality return reminiscent of the opening 10 minutes of this match, and that does not sit well with Svitolina.
Yeah, I would have told her to do that.
Yeah,
that's
you would have been
great
spot on.
idea.
That's why you're a good coach.
Yeah, just do that a few more times. I think just a reminder of all of the good things that she's been doing and how close it's been. And actually, when she grouped it together, she almost won 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
So she's within touching distance of really getting hold of Svitolina.
And remarkably, a second break to love in this set alone against Svitolina as she makes it 3-all.
I would also suggest to look for those line balls, but really make sure that they're going line. She had a couple of really good ones again when she made that push for potentially 3-love. A couple of really strong ones up the line. We had that return just in that game there. I think also not entirely sure about coming to the net. It's just she's just not getting the decision making right. It's not that it's the wrong thing to do. It's that I think she's got to pay less attention to where Svitolina is on the court and more attention to herself, because Svitolina can recover from anywhere.
Yeah.
So you just ignore whether you think she's out of position and you should approach or not, and just look at how far up the court are you.
Hasn't been excessive her success from that wing, just her 6th backhand winner of the match, but that'll do just fine. Thank you much. Trying to upend this momentum switch in Garcia's favorite. Stepping in, delivering a strike from the forehand side as Garcia just sort of basically underhands it, and Svitolina forces her to pay.
It's a tough shot to try and hit a winner off. You're pushed so far back in the court with not a lot of pace. Pretty much a dead ball. And then also deciding to run around it means that you've put yourself in quite an exposed position.
Thought she had a pretty good serve too, and here it comes floating back. Might have caught her off guard, and she's architect of her own undoing here if she can't hold break point. Broken to love in her previous service game, right back to action as Svitolina has shown her mettle today. She hasn't been playing phenomenal Elina Svitolina tennis, but she's been doing enough. As Garcia leans in, punishes the second serve, and Svitolina 5 consecutive points lost on serve. But, you know, that's part of what happens as the season unfolds. 51 match wins don't just come easily. You don't overwhelm everybody day in, day out, week in, week out. Sometimes you got to win when you're struggling a bit to find that high level. But truth be told, Caroline Garcia has hurt her cause a time or two today. Built a big lead early, 3-1 opening set, unable to hold on there. It's a point from 3-love here in the second, and well, scoreboard tells you a similar result. Good quick turn through the core. 15-30. But yeah, 37 unforced errors on the day. Difficult to overcome, yet she's still in the thick of it.
Well, finally getting a bit of joy on the net points. She really has just struggled in that department, and I just think it's so surprising. She's so accomplished as a doubles player, and at the net she's only won 16 of 31.
And the selection and the thought process that goes through. I mean, maybe just bunt it back when you've been hitting long coming forward. I mean, so much real estate to work with, and she hits it at the feet of Svitolina and misses the core completely. But she finds the break. 4-all.
Wow, really we haven't seen many unforced errors from Svitolina that you would say would just be a basic rallying ball, but that one could prove to be crucial. She's been pretty tidy, as expected, as is her game style. She always likes to play low risk, but likes to be quite aggressive with the strike when she possibly can, but doesn't really go for the lines, doesn't like to switch up the line a huge amount. Picks a big target and then rips it as best she can into it. But that unforced error may hurt.
Well, the one caveat being that for Svitolina, that she knows perhaps that she's got a pretty good shot here, viable to say the least, breaking for 5-4. I mean, 4 consecutive breaks over the course of that run. Servers only won 3 of the last 18 points. It's been a struggle from the line.
Good.
4 of 17 on her second offering in this set, and it's hampered her cause, though she hasn't double faulted a lot. It sits up for Svitolina on that second offering. She's been punishing it.
Garcia had it covered. She knew that Svitolina was going to look for the line. She actually gave her the line. It was a bit of a fake, really. She did really well. Moved right over, was just waiting for it, and had the perfect drop volley again. Unusual that she's making errors off of that.
Crucial she matches that with another first serve in play. Svitolina does issue a challenge. Her objection overruled and one break point saved.
You can just see Svitolina just unable to get the depth off of those balls, and then Garcia just eyes lighting up here, going bigger and bigger.
Terrific effort to get the front foot out and get the backhand through the court. And just a little extra pace and a flatter ball eludes Garcia, who's facing a third break point. Yeah, she wasn't going to let it happen again. Would have been catastrophe, but Garcia able to finish the point.
Yeah, opting for the drive volley rather than the punch volley. Having a little more success on that front, but really set up the point so well as well. Really strong serve, and the first strike was just right in the corner. That's how good it's got to be if you want to get Svitolina off balance within a couple of shots.
She has hopes for maintaining her perfect record, having not dropped a set this event. She's got to hold serve at 4-5. Rough start. Called out. Challenge from Svitolina.
The second set's been really interesting. I think just as you think one player's getting hold of it and it's all started to come together, they've either lost their way or the other one's fired right back. It's been quite choppy. There have been momentum swings, but they've been quite short, couple of games here and there.
undoubtedly there's going to be a challenge. It's called out and then a correction from the line judge. Yeah, if it's that close that it requires a correction, there's almost certainly going to be a challenge. And Garcia has now, after an exchange, issued it to no avail. So well done on the line judge, but getting the call correct, but it does disrupt the flow. And Svitolina will have to return to 15 all.
You could see the look on Svitolina's face having to replay that point. Always frustrating when you've got it in, and it's obviously it's a great shot on the baseline, isn't it? But really responded well.
And responding well after starting this game by double faulting to put herself on the back foot. Instead, running off 3 in a row, hoping to reach 5 all.
Oh, that's what we're used to seeing from Garcia up at the net. Very soft hands indeed. It was a beautifully guided return, getting a nice early contact around the outside of that ball. But this was tricky. Svitolina doing a good job of getting it down low.
And Garcia coming mighty with some aggression, facing a couple of game points and showing her prowess at the middle of the court once again. Didn't have to think much. It was more reaction, so that seems to bode well for her. And then punishing a forehand and giving Svitolina a lot more to think about than originally thought. Svitolina fires off her third ace in this conundrum of a second set. Just quite vexing, isn't it, for these 2 hours and 5 minutes played, but 57 of them in set number 2. A couple of breaks early and a couple holds, got to 2 all. Then a quartet of successive breaks, followed by a pair of holds. 5 all. Let's see who's the more sturdy for the final stages of this set. Svitolina has not dropped a set in Beijing. Garcia just the one against her opponent tonight.
There's been a couple of times where Svitolina has just really tried to pull the trigger from the middle of the court when she's been back behind the baseline, just like that last forehand there. Really trying to do some damage to Garcia. I'm not really sure that that's her game, to be honest. I think that it takes one more shot before she can really look to hurt her opponents. But I think that's just being caused just by the pressure that's coming at her from Garcia. She feels like she has to do something. She can't just sit back and rally. She did that at the beginning of the match and it didn't work out very well.
quite a strike.
Yeah, big winner from here, wasn't it? Plum on the line. The serve is just setting up points so well when she can find it. Garcia's not a bad first serve percentage. She's up above 60% for this set and for the match.
For the third time, and Svitolina hoping to ride the current wave of success from the line. Server has won 12 of the last 16 points as she seeks a second tiebreak. Oh, and she got some help. And she knows it, and she'll offer the conciliatory sorry, but Garcia takes the opening point.
What a return, though.
Yeah.
Deep that is. It was only a step away from Svitolina, but it was all she could do to not fall over trying to retrieve that.
And once again, Svitolina, the architect of her demise here in this 12th game. Error prone and facing triple set point. Four breaks in the set coming to love as Garcia punishes the offering. A far cry from their first ever meeting 2 years ago when Garcia won a total of 3 games. Now a third set will decide who continues their winning ways en route to the semifinals. Well, certainly not what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. And yet she manages to eke out the set. And just a bit tentative and erratic was Svitolina when it mattered most in the second, when she had herself in a position to really try to wrap it up.
Yeah, a lot of the errors coming on later on in the set on the important points as well. And interestingly, which we didn't see in the first set, errors coming off basic rallying balls. It wasn't like she was really trying to be aggressive on them, and it wasn't like she was defending. And that's her bread and butter. And she didn't miss any of those in the first set. It'll be interesting to see what Svitolina really comes out with in this set. She has actually been just ever so slightly up and down, just with her weight of shot and her level of aggression. She's had all of her successes come when she's kept Garcia pinned back. It's interesting with Svitolina because her comfort zone is just to be a little bit more on the passive side, and she has to make sure that she's always there pushing herself to be more aggressive, keep that depth, keep the quality of shot as you are counter-punching away. Just as this match moves into the latter stages, if we get to tight moments, will she retreat back into the comfort zone when she gets nervous, or will she keep committing and making sure the quality of strike is still there?
Way to stick to. Well, she said she was sorry. But I think Caroline will take that for sure. She's really trying to find a way to just get inside and disrupt and agitate Svitolina. That'll work.
Well, you can see that even Svitolina, as soon as she hit the serve, she was already sprinting into that corner. Garcia so good off both wings, pulling the inside in on the return, but just too good. Brilliant connection. Even Svitolina couldn't chase it down. Well, I think she got away with that approach to the net. Garcia again caught out on the service line, didn't get a shimmy on to get to the net as quick as possible. Svitolina definitely had a pass on.
Second game basically encapsulating much of what this match has held for us. Almost everything off of Garcia's racket. Winners, errors, Svitolina hasn't had to do a whole lot to get herself to this point for 1-all. And doing enough. More of an observer than participant up until the final point, but she does produce the winner and the hold. Each dropping a set for the first time in their first deciding set of this tournament. Both have been terrific when performing in deciding sets. Svitolina with a 14-7 record. Garcia, phenomenal 13-4. And as we say that, as Garcia tries to dictate play and control the pace and the rhythm, 15 points in this deciding set thus far. 3 winners, 6 unforced errors. Well, Svitolina just sits back and tries to maintain a presence. There's a bit more aggression. The depth of the forehand to set it up right on the line.
That's such an explosive shot, isn't it? You can hear the effort and intensity going into each ball. She doesn't necessarily possess easy power, so everything really is about getting physical, getting every part of the body involved to generate that extra pace. That one fired off the baseline.
Now a bit more assertive, and it yields a beneficial start in this third game. Yeah, there's been a lot of looks on the day for Svitolina. Her 17th break opportunity. And from its conclusion, the back and forth continues as Svitolina looks to protect her first break of set number 3.
Maybe Garcia just starting to feel a little bit of fatigue. Footwork slowed down in the last game or so. And there on that backhand, just didn't get the adjusting steps in that she has been throughout this match. Garcia has just lost her focus ever so slightly. A few mutterings, some errors, way too many errors really early on in this set. I mean, she's hit a lot today. She's definitely been aggressive, already up to 9. Svitolina's only won 14 points, and 9 of them from Garcia.
And the hold for Svitolina. So halfway through the desired number of games to get into the semifinals. And despite the fact that early she just seemed to be a casual observer, she's got herself an outright lead. So 3 games on the trot, and Garcia, we'll see how those reserves are doing. If there is some fatigue after the effort to produce this deciding set. If the mind is just wobbling just a touch. Or if she can get back to that concerted effort that earned her way here.
She's looking confident again now, Svitolina. She did look pretty concerned the first game of this 3rd set, and it looked like she was going to go away, but should have known better. Svitolina, such a fighter, is always so consistently there and just keep making you work as hard as you can. Even if errors are getting up high, she's always demanding more of herself. Looks like she's finally got used to that on the forehand when Garcia really does take the time away, because she really didn't have much time there to pick that up. But she did a really good job. Such an early preparation, got the racket through. Garcia was expecting the short ball.
And Svitolina a lot more involved in the action as she seeks 4-1. Racket taken out of her hand as Garcia throwing her 6th ace into the mix.
There's a down the line shot. It really has been effective for Garcia. I really think she could have done with a few more, could use a few more here as well. It is risky though, but she's making a lot of errors anyway, so you might as well make the errors trying to go for something that you know is really effective.
Well, that's a demonstration of the qualities of Svitolina and her balance to be able to even get over to that ball. And Garcia had to hit it picture perfect into the corner just to keep it away. Saves break point. Trying to hold Svitolina's advances at bay. Should be pretty devastating to fall behind 4-1, and her confidence doesn't seem to be at the height it was earlier in the match. Just takes a point or two to reignite it, though. She's still in the thick of it.
She's having very small dips at the moment, Garcia, but it's very impressive how she's getting herself back on track each time. Really digging deep, finding some more, whether it is fatigue or just mental concentration or just the relentlessness of Svitolina at the other end.
And we should know better, shouldn't we? Just go back. World number 3 hopping up and jogging out on the court, perhaps trying to relay a message to Caroline Garcia. We're in it for the long haul. I'm fit. I'm ready. Or perhaps she just wants to get to work once again, enjoy a nice little run here of momentum on her side. Having run off 3 straight games before Garcia's hold.
Yeah, it was very interesting. He was talking a lot about the legs.
He being
Garcia.
Paul Garcia.
Paul Garcia. He was talking a lot about the legs, using them, I imagine.
Indeed.
My assumption. She's definitely looking a little bit fatigued. Completely understandable. This really has been a physical match. Garcia standing as far up as she dares on the second serve, really putting the pressure on Svitolina, and just has done such a great job of taking control of it, really. Winning the vast majority of points on the Svitolina second serve.
Yeah, though she's faced half as many break points, Svitolina's service game has been under pretty intense scrutiny as well. Garcia 6 of 9 today. And she has her 7th break. Get back on serve. And why not? As this match has unfolded, neither has been able to shake or really significantly give themselves some distance.
You get the feeling that both have just been rather irritated by the other one just not going away. They've both been digging really deep. Both of them desperately trying to put their games on the court, but because they slightly contradict each other, it's difficult for one when it's easier for the other. So it's been a few swings, but some short swings as well. No long runs of games.
Yeah, there have been a couple momentum swings, but they're nothing overwhelming and certainly not able to produce a level that really gives a significant push. Opening set, Garcia stormed out to a 3-1 start, and that was in about 12 minutes time. It was quick and looked like it was going to be very painful for Svitolina, but she clawed back, ended up winning it in the tiebreak. Garcia again poised to take a big lead in set number 2. Point away from 3-love. This time she held on, though. And she's been the aggressor from the outset. She's had to weather a few pushes from Svitolina, but even to this point, she still seems to be plugging away and raring to go.
Yeah, there's been some huge resistance from the end of Svitolina, but Garcia, even if she's feeling a little heavy in the legs out there, she's got to feel like this is hers to take if she can just get on top and stay there.
Exactly. Able to muscle it up the line, and it's almost as if we rewound the tape about 2 hours and 42 minutes ago when a couple minutes into the match, this was the shot that seemed to have her headed towards success early and often.
Yeah, well, the question that is often running through your mind watching Svitolina or playing against her is, how do you get it past her? Well, these down the line shots really have been so effective when they've been in play. Something completely different there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of that at all. A drop shot coming into play.
Just about the stroke of midnight in 2 hours and 45 minutes. Break chance for 4-3 in favor of Svitolina. And into the midnight hour they go. At oil as Elina Svitolina tries to extend herself to 5-3 in a match that the only thing that's been predictable is its unpredictability. Trying to deliver a knockout blow and dismiss herself from the likes of Caroline Garcia and everybody else that stood in her way from a return to the semifinals.
She's just starting to try a little bit too hard now, Svitolina. She can see the finish line. She's seen it so many times and has ended up having to do a couple of laps before she's allowed to cross it. But she's dramatically reduced her unforced errors. She was hitting less than 1 a game, but already 2 in this game. Shows the change in mentality.
Yeah, and a bit surprising. I think it shows the wrench that Garcia has been able to throw in Svitolina's game. Somebody who's produced so many wins this year as she goes for number 51. She's really had difficulty in being able to figure out any patterns and real stop Garcia's progress. Here she is poised to be broken to love for the 4th time today. Surrender her lead. And as an agent of agitation, Garcia's been successful today. punishment once again, as Garcia has done so often. Focus and intensity as she finds her way to another break. All in all, 33 games on the board, 15 combined breaks. No foregone conclusions by either, particularly when stepping to the line.
I think in that last game we definitely felt the intensity up from Svitolina. It just went too far, really throwing everything that she had at Garcia. And actually it was Garcia who was the more solid in that game. Such a tough point there from both players. Garcia, I think, was desperate for it to end somehow. But Svitolina just so tough with her movement, staying strong on everything. See there, she wasn't trying to win the point. She was trying to stop Garcia from being able to do it.
You'd almost want to surmise that perhaps the fatigue starting to set in again, falling back, but any assumptions that have been made to this point have been turned on their ear, haven't they? It's been such a struggle.
Really good from Garcia. You can see the decision that Svitolina has made after the previous game where she was trying to win the points, making the errors. She just wants to be as tough as possible. Garcia trying to match it.
And trying to disrupt the rhythm as Svitolina, and does so. Still in a whole spot of bother. Once again, a tremendous response.
Yeah, I think I'm done trying to guess what's going to happen. Every time I think, oh, okay, right, I see what's going to happen now. This is the way it's going. Within seconds, it's changed again.
Well, desperate to have this ball find any of the line, but they might be hopeful. And boy, what a big mistake this would be, at least potentially. And she offers up her third double fault, reminiscent of Game 9 of the second set when Svitolina had a number of chances, 3 to be exact, to break, to serve for the match, but Garcia stood mighty. See if she has an answer once again. And Svitolina converts. Win streak by Garcia and reach her 7th semifinal of the year.
Wow. Basic rallying ball again for Svitolina. She's really feeling the pressure. You can just sense how much both of these players want this match. It's just oozing out of them on every single point.
Oh, Caroline.
Oh, Svitolina's thinking, where did that come from? That was right out on the stretch. If it had been anything even almost as good as that, Svitolina could have been on that and hit nice and early to space.
Quality as Garcia refuses to concede. If she's wary, she's not showing it in crunch time deep in the third.
It's a great pickup from Svitolina. The boy was in a good return. So deep, she had to squat right down underneath it just to give it enough lift.
And Garcia's 9th break of the night as Svitolina can't close it. And the door left open. And on they go.
I think you would have always said that Svitolina is known for mental toughness, really high expectations, demanding a lot of herself when her back's against the wall, digging in, and if everything's going wrong, at least making balls and working hard physically. But for Garcia to be showing this sort of resilience after the couple of weeks she's had, and she's clearly fatigued, very impressive.
she's just trying to find that extra reserve. She's got to turn things around in her favor here. 5 consecutive breaks of serve amongst the 6 in this set have led to this point.
Again, they just see the feet slowing down ever so slightly. Maybe just needed one more step around the ball. Every time Svitolina, I mean, you can see when Svitolina's feeling the pressure because she goes for shots like that. It just would not normally be part of her A game. That particular position, looking to pull the trigger and get the point done.
And a testament to what Garcia has been able to do, disrupt Svitolina's kind of attack, agitating her to the point of severe frustration, and looking to add insult to injury by moving ahead 6-5. And there hasn't been too many moments where you look at the body language of Svitolina, even when she's ahead, and say she's comfortable.
Yeah, there was that patch just early in the third set where she looked like she was about to stretch ahead.
Yeah.
And she definitely had more of a bounce in her step. Looked like she was quite clear on what she was doing.
Was a point from 4-1 right at that moment when thought that was it. Garcia couldn't possibly have anything left, and Svitolina was taking control. But it was not to be. I think Garcia has a point here, literally and figuratively, as it was called out, but that backhand looked like it was, if not flush, it caught a significant amount. It did not. It tailed away. Well done by the line judge. It looked like it was on the right flight path.
Very aggressive on the forehand, Garcia, and again taking it down the line. Wasn't quite as straight as she would have liked, drifted ever so slightly into the middle, but good enough. We had that big chunk in the middle of this match where it was coming in very central, her attempt of a switch of direction.
miss hit from Garcia and forced to pay perhaps a dear price as Garcia takes a long look at the mark and elects to challenge.
I'm not sure Svitolina was aiming quite so close to the line.
She'll tell you, of course she was. Needed to find a bit of the white paint, found it, good enough to get herself to break point. And just wide, and Garcia can't believe it as it tails away again. And no challenge. The second time between Svitolina and Garcia. Speaking of second times, winner in straight sets in her previous effort, hoping to gut it out in 3. A second try to wrap up the match.
And of course, Garcia responds.
Yeah, very tight in her previous service game. Svitolina got ahead 15-11, then promptly lost the next 4 as Garcia again found that level of reserve that put her in a quality position, as was that turn. Rotation through the core and able to find some power. Bettles trying to implore Svitolina to keep her focus. Grimace, and the struggle for Svitolina is real. Garcia able to shore up her game, staying in the right spot, delivers the blow for a break to love, and of course, why not?
Well, there's a clear demonstration as to why first serve percentage isn't everything. Svitolina backing off on the serves. Yes, she made them, but Garcia just ready and waiting. Didn't quite get as much racket head speed as she had been before, so the ball didn't swing as much. Garcia had a little more time and applied the strike.
Garcia breaking Svitolina twice to stay in the match, and now it comes down to best just one game.
Garcia's been much better coming to the net in this set. But what an excellent passing shot from Svitolina, really unleashed on it.
Oh my.
I think it's just that, how much she really wants this match, just overspilling sometimes. She chased that ball down, got there so early, actually did have time, but rushed herself. She could have made the adjustments. right shot to go for. It was on. Garcia's been hitting down the line much better, but very, very close.
Now able to summon the effort and give herself a little push here. Garcia, it's a 3-2. Good serve out wide, and just continuing with her father telling her to give 100% effort. Really try to work shoulders. Don't just pick on the backhand. Really give your all here when it matters most. That was during their conference midway through this.
Two huge serves.
Exactly.
One from each player. So it's there. They just need to be able to grab it. Who is going to be able to produce in this tiebreak?
Momentum has been elusive. And each and every time it seems Svitolina was poised to finally shake Garcia and rid her of the weight and the pressure. Caroline's been able to step right up and match her. Additional challenge in the tiebreak bestowed upon both, and Garcia wants to issue its use. Looking for the line. It's well in. Half a dozen aces on the day, 4 all. And for Svitolina now, the added pressure, a little scoreboard influence perhaps, as Garcia, pair of aces, pushes her to within 2 points of victory.
This is the match of the unexpected. For Garcia, it's been so long since she's held her serve and has come out with 3 huge serves in a row.
Yep. As to Svitolina. Remember, coming into the tiebreak, 7 consecutive breaks. Neither seemed to have any idea where their serve was. It wasn't in the bag. It wasn't by the side of the court, but here they are in a little bit of a duel. So Svitolina matches Garcia's effort, and it puts her in the winning position. 3 hours and 19 minutes. And the 3 seed arrives at match point. Would you expect anything less? Yet another response from Garcia. Every time Svitolina backs off, Garcia steps up. Svitolina really needs to go for that return if she could have, trying to put the pressure on, take control, but wow. Well, I mean, yeah. I did not expect the tiebreak to go like this. It's been all about the server. Yeah. or lack thereof of presence. But here they are fighting tooth and nail. And what a backhand. Garcia, reminiscent of the early stages of this match when she was just so proficient from that side. Ultimately now 58 winners on the day, and that 58th was so important. Match continues. And now it's Garcia who has a nice little punch to finish this off.
It's gutsy stuff from Garcia, sticking to her game plan throughout.
And the deal is sealed as Caroline Garcia endures a grueling test against the world number 3.